another quick note, and I'd love some feedback when you get a chance, and I need to follow through and pop a video up on Slack. But I did a presentation in front of our Business Connect group for work, or my Business Connect group for church for my nonprofit, and I got a referral Sunday. It's late Sunday night, and this woman is in shoot, can't remember the first name of it, but in Kansas. And I was on the phone with her very late. I spent about an hour and 10 minutes with her on the phone, and I've had subsequent conversations. But what happened at that Business Connect where I gave a presentation actually resulted in a referral. Had I had my nonprofit be where I'd want it to be, I'd be getting paid for this referral that I sent to a hospice in Kansas. And so it's just been beautiful. It's actually a story that's continuing to unfold, and I want you to see the joy in this. I have a 28-year-old woman that I've connected with, and her story is absolutely amazing. She's on hospice, so it lets you know at 28 she's deemed as terminal. But just to hear the life in her and her fighting with me to remain on hospice because she sees the benefit of it and that she wants to live, it's in my heart. It's like it's like the foundation of just supportive messaging for what I'm doing, and she's willing to like start to journal audio her story right now and be able to give that to me as content. But it's so beautiful, so it's just so moving. I mean, after this call I'm going to reach out to the hospice and make sure she's taken care of today. But yeah, just beautiful, and like my light of the week right now. So thank you.
That's awesome. So right there, in case you missed it, we've been encouraging collectively, Jason, just to share, that hospice is not about death. It's actually about life. So that's the opportunity switch. Russell talks about that. It's, people think it's this, whatever our expertise is, like people think that this is how it is. And like, actually, you need to come in and say, no, this is not how it is. Actually, this is the new truth. And I need you to think about it this way. And you do that through sharing stories. So what you just said about how, hospice is actually giving her life. She has, it sounds like she's planning for the future. She's contributing. Those are things living people are doing, not people who are dying. Sharing that story shifts the perception about what it is you do, the world you're involved in. And so the only way to do that is by publishing. Back to the flywheel, publishing, and then you give an opportunity to capture people's information, right? So just getting your message out there, telling the world, hey, I can help you, however you got to get their attention, I can help you. And then you have an opportunity to capture their information, and then you can nurture them. Okay. And so digital marketing is that complex and that simple all at the same time. So I hear that as validation, that if we help you refine your message in such a way that it is systematically attacking and breaking false beliefs and then giving them an offer to connect with you, you're going to have more opportunity than you know to deal with, right? In a short amount of time. So
I can attest to that, because when my son was in for the 10 days, all of us family and even friends, it didn't matter who we wanted to bring in. There was a little party room, if you wanted to call it. We were placed right next to the family room, and Adrian couldn't get out of bed, but we were able to just do whatever we wanted to do, and the meals were served, the food was there. It was just life-changing for everyone to be able to have that time and come up with resolution. And my other friend that has the 2 weeks, she's taken the extra treatments because she wanted to wait those extra couple months and have her great-grandson, great-great-granddaughter now born, and have a little party for the baby. So the baby's born. She'll be leaving soon, but she's doing what she needs to do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the beauty of hospice, Jason.
So rapid fire, Dawn Marie, what's your win?
My win is that I am a part of a Black conservative political group, and I've been asked to be a co-host on a television show that's on Roku, and it's supposed to have a reach of approximately 4.3 million viewers. And yeah, that's my win because my voice, I'm a speaker by nature, so that's my win.
Awesome. Well, you need to meet my friend Brendan sitting at the end of the table, because his challenge launchpad platform, it is perfectly suited if you have access to a large audience, that you can invite them into a very engaging experience where they can experience massive value from you. And so we'll bring Brendan on in the future for more like deep dive into what he's doing and the development of it. But anyway, that's just a teaser.
But thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
That's exciting. That's cool. And Chuck looking off confused in the distance. What is happening, Chuck?
Hey, I was looking at my other screen. I was being Scott.
It's okay.
Because that's what he does.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when I've been traveling, so I've been visiting family and some other business partners. So that's a big win for me. It's nice to create the lifestyle that's been able to afford me to do that. I can still work from wherever I'm at. Currently, I'm in Omaha, my brother's loft, and he's sliding back and forth working on his stuff. So it's fun to be a part of that.
Cool. Awesome. We're glad to have you, Chuck. Chuck's funnel is live. We've been getting some data back. Now we're just tweaking it. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that. And I posted on Instagram last night. If you've followed my story, I was cleaning up a whole bunch of like old attachments that had, buried themselves in my computer and clogged it up, because I was trying to get the stuff off my SD card. And there was an ad video Chuck had texted me, and he's like yelling at me in the camera, and like 2 a.m. I'm like, Chuck, I can't deal with this right now. So it's kind of funny. Andreas, are you on your way to see me right now? Huh?
You're mute.
What?
You're mute yourself, Andreas.
Here you go. How's that? Better? Yes.
That's better.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, hopefully get reunited once more. Headed to my accommodations right now. I visited 3 gyms this morning already. I woke up at 4:30 this morning. So that's a great win, and did my workout. I ran for 2 miles. I got 2 potential guests for the podcast. I already recorded teaser episode 2. Those are my wins.
That's it? That's all you've done today? Good grief. Get to work. Jeez.
What's up, Andreas?
Yeah.
Hey, man. What's up?
I'm in your
What's your podcast,
I'm in your town.
Andreas? What kind of guests do you get?
Gym Owners. So the name of the podcast is Gym Owners Growth Zone, hosted by Andres Escobar, powered by ReviewBiz.io. So that's the story.
Sweet.
Excited. Yeah, it's excited for it. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Cool. Well, for 15 minutes or so, I want to share with you takeaways from Day with Dan yesterday. And all those hearing my voice who listened to Day with Dan, they're going to come chime in if they want to. But I'm just going to, this is real raw and unedited. I'm just going to open up my Evernote and just walk you through some of the notes I took yesterday. And I encourage you to take some notes as well.
Oh, no. Oh, more notes.
All right.
Hey, how long are you guys down there? When did it start and when does it finish, this great party?
Today is actually day 1.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday was a pre-event for Magnetic Marketing, which is now owned by Russell and ClickFunnels, but that's Dan Kennedy. He's an OG marketing coach. And then today's FHL day 1. It goes Wednesday to Saturday.
Wow. Wow, that's big.
It's a week of nerd fest. You know?
Yes.
Just
Marketing
everyone's
nerds.
talking about their cost per lead and like their automation sequences, and people are all getting hot and heavy with headlines. So it's going crazy, right? Yeah.
And heavy with headlines. That's a great title.
Hot and heavy with headlines. Yes, sir. And honestly, the networking's the best. Last year I met Megan, I met Andreas, I met Brendan, I met Steve, I met Brandon, and yeah, and I'm like a octopus, like tentacles, suck people in. So
When's going to be your party dinner night at the Planet Hollywood?
So just logistically it wasn't going to work to have like a late dinner and everyone's going everywhere. So I simplified it and I just said, hey, I reserved a table at this really cool kind of bar area in Disney Springs, and come one, come all, just show up. So everyone's going Dutch. Hopefully some people will be there, but yeah. And then
That's simple.
yeah, keep it simple. So but my KPI, my key performance indicator is how many of these stickers I can hand out and just have a conversation with people. And so I'm wearing the jean jacket today just for the association. But if you go to FHL2022.com, you will see my funnel that I'm using for lead gen here. And basically my message is like marketing. Hey, you're going to learn a lot of stuff, but you're probably going to be overwhelmed. All you need to do is plug whatever it is you want to learn, you're learning here, into this simple system called minimum viable marketing, right? And yeah, I think that message resonates with a lot of people, because I think Megan can attest to, you go there and your head is like exploding and you don't even know where to start. It's like you want to do everything, but then you do nothing. What's that?
I was just saying, sorry, I just opened it. It looks really good. I'm like, oh, that's me. Sorry,
wow.
It's really good. I like it, Caleb.
This is exciting. I'm loving the energy here.
What I didn't anticipate, so I gave this to somebody yesterday, and so the conference, just for clarity, is Funnel Hacking Live 2022. So the ClickFunnels URL is funnelhackinglive.com. What I did last year is I collect domain names like people collect stamps. I looked up the hashtag. So like all the events, they'll go hashtag FHL 2021 or 2022. I just looked that up to see if it was a URL that was available, and they were available. And I thought, okay, I'm going to register FHL 2021. But then I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, people are going to see my idea and they're going to want to buy the next year. So then I bought 5 years worth, $10 a pop. Why not? And so I'm using this as like to divert just a tiny slice of attention into my world. Right? I'm not trying to steal Russell's bread. I'm just trying to divert a little attention. That's all I'm doing. And so I give this sticker to someone yesterday, and he looks at it, he's impressed, and he goes, so you went through all this work and you don't even have a way for me to contact you. And I said, no, this is my URL. That is not their URL. And so maybe my ninja tactics were too good and people don't even realize that it's something else. So I don't know. That's a side note. Okay. Day with Dan yesterday. So Dan Kennedy, if you haven't studied him, no matter what business you're in, and he'll phrase it this way: a butcher, baker, candlestick maker, high ticket coach, sales professional, to a Fortune 5,000 company, the principles he talks about are directly applicable to any business. And he teaches strategic direct response that gets people's attention and causes them to act. And not only act with urgency, act with focus, act with as if your life depended on it. And what he says a lot of cool things, and you could just look up any content, any speech, any book he's written. He wrote the No BS series. He's extremely prolific. So just do yourself a favor and kind of dive into his world a little bit. But what really stuck out to me yesterday is, we'll invite Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. Okay, so so Dan, where he really found his niche is in copywriting, right? And so as a copywriter, he got invited, just invited into all these different types of businesses. And so it gave him this bird's eye view of, principles that work in one can work in another. And I think business owners have this mindset that, oh, that worked for a dentist, but it's not going to work for me, a chiropractor. No offense, Jason. Or, oh, that works for coaches, but that's not going to work for me, a software provider. So he really advises against that you think you're special, you're not, okay? And he has this very direct, to the point way of talking. But when you are talking to your prospects or your clients, you talk to them as if they are special, right? So like you acknowledge the fact that that's how people think. So you speak to them directly and reinforce that bias. Does that make sense? Joe? Yeah. So it's like, the truth is everyone's the same, but when you're talking to your prospects and your clients, you are speaking to them as if they're the only ones experiencing this problem. Okay. So my Evernote, and I'll just share it because sometimes it's helpful just to see it. Okay. Okay, he dropped so much gold yesterday. I don't want to. It can be overwhelming, honestly, when you hear it, because it's so dense, and like everything he shares can literally shift your business. But there's this copywriting formula called define, agitate, solve, right? So, and you can use it in anything. You can use it in a video, you can use it in an ad, you can use it in a sales letter, you can do it from the stage. But basically, you're speaking to your prospect, you're speaking to your client, saying, here's the problem, okay? I'm not going to try and riff with an example because I'll probably get lost in it. But, you're defining the problem. So the conversation going on in your prospect's mind, you're calling it out, right? What are they frustrated with, right? Their life is out of balance, like Scott. So if you watch his ad video, like he's calling out the problem. So the people who are dealing with that, who could potentially benefit from your solution, they're like, oh, he's speaking to me, right? Like, oh, he's speaking to my unique problem, right? So like, so we're going to define it. So that's just to get their attention. Okay. Now that like they're listening and we're setting them up for a sale, right? We want them to take action. We're not speaking just for sake of enjoyment or entertainment. Ultimately, we want them to respond, right? Direct response marketing demands response. We want their contact information. We want them to pull out their wallet. We want them to book a call with us. Like whatever our offer is, like that's what we're leading them to. But before we actually present that offer, we have to tell them like, what is the problem that we're addressing here? Okay. Whether it's, you're a leadership coach or, and there's a problem in their organization, or that they're not making the money they need to, or their finances are out of whack, or they have a dying family member who could be enjoying a better way of life in hospice. It doesn't matter. Like we're just defining the problem, right? So it's applicable to everybody. Now, traditionally it's taught just define, you agitate it, and then you solve it. Okay. And that's how I learned it. But what Dan is taught, so agitate, right? So now we've called out the problem. So actually, let's have an example. What would be Chuck?
What?
Hi.
Hey.
All right. So let's define your ideal client's problem.
So they are not getting enough leads or customers interested in their service, whether it be from their Google profile or their website. They're just not being seen.
That's the problem. So you're a home services professional. You're not getting enough leads. Not good, right? Conceptually, we know that that's not good. We all agree? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. Okay. Conceptually, we know that if you have a small business and you're not getting enough leads, that's a problem. Megan drinks some coffee. I saw that yawn. Okay. Now, agitate it for me, Chuck. Make it a little worse.
Are you having problems paying your crew because you're not getting enough people interested in your services?
That was
not good enough.
That was irritating. Now, what Dan talked about is he said, really agitate problem. And these are his words, not mine. You literally want them suicidal. You want them so like distraught that they are like beyond themselves, that they are like, oh my gosh, this is going to ruin me. All right. So I am a roofing contractor. I have just heard, you've called out the problem. You're not getting enough leads. And I want you to make me so upset that I am rethinking my life decisions. Go ahead, Chuck.
Are you afraid to go to the gas pump because you don't have enough credit on your business credit card to get fuel to go to the next job? Hey, maybe you don't have enough money to pay your guys and they won't be able to finish the job that you're currently on so you can get paid. Are you going to jump off that roof? Maybe that one was a little too far. I don't know.
You're getting closer. You're getting closer. All right. We have not, we're not quite there yet. All right. We're getting a little closer. So, man, it would really suck to go completely bankrupt and lose everything, right? That nice F-350 sitting in your driveway, that's going to go. Your trophy wife, she's probably going to leave you because, she has financial needs. Kind of sucks you're not getting those leads you need, right? Your crew, the roofing company down the road who has their marketing dialed in, like they're getting texts from their friends, like asking why they're not working every day, right? It's going to suck when all those guys you've invested and trained steal all your tools and go work for the other guys. It's gonna suck, isn't it? Because you don't have your marketing together and your website's on page 4. Doesn't that suck, roofing contractor? Are you feeling the pain a little bit more, Scott?
Personal side.
Yeah. Okay. Now, here's where it gets magical. All right. So we're really agitating the problem. Now, if you are trying to sell SEO, they're going to have things come up in their mind like, okay, right. So you're starting to get them on the defensive. All right, yeah, I don't have enough leads. I get that. All right, so there's this SEO. There's maybe Facebook ads.
I don't know if that counts as a trick or not.
Where's the? Hold on. There's background noise.
So we are actually going.
There you go. Okay, it was Chuck. Anyway, all right. So now they're going to be. We got them on defensive. Now they're going to be. Oh, maybe I need to do Facebook ads. All right. Oh, I got a buddy who does Facebook ads. Or I need to. Maybe I should go door knocking. Right. Chuck wants to sell them SEO. Right. So now what you have to do is you have to eviscerate the other options. You have to destroy every other solution systematically that could be a pain relief. And then you need to introduce them to your offer. So we're agitating it, but now at this point, we're going to disembowel the competition before we bring them to our option. All right. So Chuck, I want you to disembowel Facebook ads, flyering, word of mouth, Yelp, disembowel them all. Make it bloody and messy.
So if you're thinking about Yelp, they have control over everything. They have control over the leads. They're sharing those leads. Your reviews, even your good reviews, are not going to pop up on top of the page for Yelp. When it comes to door knocking, are you really going to pay a high school kid to go around and door knock on people's invade on their privacy, and they don't even know if they want a roof or not? Talk about don't know if they want a roof or not. Facebook ads, those people aren't search intent. Those ads are, you have to interrupt their pattern. then you have to keep their attention for 30 seconds at the minimum so they see your ad. Is that going to work for you? No. Why don't you go with something where it's search intent? People are actively looking for your services. They want your services now. They need a roof. They have a roof repair. It's raining and they have water in their house, so they need a roof repair. Why not go for search intent rather than pattern interrupt or having Yelp or Angie's List control your destiny?
Bye, Megan. That's good, Chuck. That's good. So you need to discredit all the other solutions. Bye, Megan. You need to completely disembowel them, right? Like you just need to make it bloody. You need to make it messy because people are going to try and talk them out of the solution, right? You know, everyone has, you know, some uncle or buddy who has, you know, everyone's got advice, right? So if this is actually a real apparent problem and you're sharing that with people around you, everyone's an expert and they're going to chime into it. So if you're coming into their world and they're seeing an ad or they're reading an email or something like that, you really have to maximize that opportunity to, define that problem in clarity so they know that you're talking to them. You're talking to their unique situation, right? We know it's not unique, but you are playing into that human nature that this problem is unique. Then you need to agitate it. You need to make it painful. You need to make it very real. And then you need to make them like distraught because like they could lose everything. They could fail. They could lose all this money. Like whatever triggers are associated with what you do, you could lose your marriage, right? You could fail that next corporate presentation, right? You could lose feeling in your legs and your feet, Dr. Jason. Like if you don't do this, things could be really bad, right? And then before you solve it, you need to enter that conversation in their mind and tell them all the other things that they're thinking about buying, why that's a bad idea too, right? You think acupuncture works? Well, actually, it's okay, but it's not going to fix your problem, right? Those muscle relaxers, that's a temporary fix, right? So we're throwing rocks at the competition before we solve the problem. So once we are ready to actually solve that problem, they're like, gimme, right? Where do I buy? Where do I put my credit card in, right? You want me to book an appointment, right? You want me to drive cross country to meet you? Absolutely, right? So that's how you do it. So that's the content for today. I don't want to go deeper than that. Just that alone can increase your conversions. It can give you a template and to do any video, any ad, any sales page. If you remember define, agitate, and you got to make it painful, and then you solve, that's all you need. So what are your thoughts?
I like it.
But
You
to do
definitely
as
have
a
to get
college
into.
admissions advisor.
What was that, Don Marie?
I said it sounds like what I used to do as a college admissions advisor. We had to find out what they wanted to do, and then, like he was saying, eviscerate them. You had a business, that's really wonderful, but you know what? You still really weren't successful because you didn't have a degree. And now look where you are right now. Because you were successful in your business, but because you don't have a degree, you don't even have a job right now. So what are we going to do? Like, why did it take you so long? What were you putting off? Why wasn't your life important to do it now? So we have the solution. So what were you looking to go into and how this is going to help you? So yeah, we did that a lot. Eviscerating people was my nature, yeah.
I could tell Don Marie, I could just see that big old knife. You're like, yeah.
Well, I wasn't good at eviscerating somebody who had a business that was making a lot of money. But I was pretty close at some of the people. They would complain about their life, and I'm like, really? Let me tell you about mine. They're like, "Oh, you're still living? Yeah, so let's go ahead and get you enrolled in school now."
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Who else has a takeaway from that?
For me, if I just remember to go back and keep it simple and then do what you guys tell me to do. That's exactly what I had to do with life insurance. Overcome all the objections is what we call, there's no time, there's no money, there's, we got to wait, got to talk it over. What are you going to talk over? Yeah, it's old school stuff made new again.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
You have to get them lost before you can get them found.
That's
If they
right.
don't have it,
That's
if they
a good
don't
one. I like that.
yeah, you have to get them, because that's how all marketing is. When you look at it, their whole marketing is, you are jacked up because you're not eating this cheeseburger with, macaroni and cheese and onions on top. Just look at you. What's wrong with you? And then they get you in for the kill.
But the product is the one that kills you. It's so confusing.
Yeah, right.
I think it's really helpful to think about what those other solutions are. And you just kind of do the brainstorm of, okay, what other alternatives, as I'm doing this, define and agitate and solve, what are the alternatives that they might be looking at or they might hear right after they've been watching this video. That's a question I haven't really contemplated, so I'm just taking some notes on like what those other solutions are, and then each one of those brainstorming like why that's not a good solution, or why that's a horrible solution, or why that solution is going to make them want to
Worst
jump off the
ever
roof.
idea. Like, you could do it if you're dumb.
Right.
Well, Scott, I almost, as you were saying that, I'm thinking you could still go down through your levels to what would that do for you? What would that do for you? What would that do for you on those options? So instead of your life wheel, it'd be your options wheel. What's this one going to do for you? What's this one going to do for you? That was a great video, by the way. I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah. I think the other thing too, Scott, is, asking more questions. Why? What happened? Why? What happened? So now when you're offering those other solutions, like you were talking about, now you know why they're not going to work for that person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. One of the Jasons, pick a Jason, any Jason. You got to take away. Mr. Smith?
I would like actually a copy of those notes. But that being said, my only takeaway is I appreciate just the content that you bring, and kind of, again, back to your first comment when we started this call. It's about, applying these things. You just keep applying these things, and it really eliminates the excuses. So I think for me, it's always easy, and it may be human nature, right? You always come up with either your own excuses of why you're not doing something, but probably more importantly, you just get in your own way. And I think that, when you go to a conference like this and you hear just great speakers, and it's like there's nothing that you're sharing with us that is not working for someone. So it's all about just being able to have the confidence in what that mechanism is, and applying ourselves. So I'm going to continue to show up until I'm able to do that.
Cool. Yeah. And what was I going to say? I had a thought. Oh, yeah, I will absolutely share all my notes of the whole conference with everybody. So we'll do one more takeaway, and then I'll give you 5 minutes back at time because the conference awaits.
Well, I do have one quick thing, and not a question thing. On the link in the email that you say that we could send to somebody, when I click that link, it just doesn't go anywhere. It just holds. I copied it and pasted it and put it in another URL. It still didn't work. So I don't know what to do.
Okay, I will clean that up. I'm kind of coming. I'm
switching.
Oh,
I understand. I just didn't want to forget.
No, thank you for the reminder. We have no workshop call today. You will still get an automated. We're having the call. I'm sorry, disregard. And I don't want to mess it up by pausing that automation, but yeah. So what was I going to say? Yeah, in very short order, I will have a very I will have a cleaned up invite page that you can just send to people and they can register. It'll get them on these calls. So
Yeah, I was just going to mention, Don Marie, what I've started doing, and I think it's useful, is just take a screenshot when there's a hang up, because I sent one or two to Scott, because for us to try and tell what the error is and so on, I've just started, here's the screenshot, here's what it told me, and then it's easy.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, well, appreciate you all. And have a great week. And I'm gonna learn some nuggets and bring them back and share them with you all. So keep at it, okay?